If these brands and characters remind you of royalty, love, and heroism, then you've just experienced the power of brand archetypes. So branding isn't just about logos and colors, it's about identity. And the easiest way to create a personal brand that your target audience instantly connects with is through brand archetypes. Every unforgettable brand or public figure has a core personality, a character that people recognize, trust, and relate to. Why? Because human beings connect through stories, and these archetypes have been showing up in books, movies, and history for centuries. So when you align your brand with a clear archetype, you instantly make it easy for your audience to understand who you are, what you stand for, and why they should care. In this video, we're going to break down the 12 archetypes into their cardinal rules. Brand archetypes are one of the most powerful tools in branding. So if you're building a brand or struggling to stand out, this is something you cannot ignore. Think about your favorite movies, books, reality TV, or even real life. There are certain characters that show up over and over again. The wise mentor, the fearless leader, the rebel who loves to shake things up. These characters are universal because humans have similar values and desires. And guess what? Personal brands work the exact same way because people don't just buy products. They connect with possibilities, common goals, and perspectives. When you align your brand with a recognizable archetype, you intentionally make it easier for the right people to relate to you and align with your vision, mission, and values, which is the reason they actually care. So here's why this matters. We as consumers don't just buy things. We buy into people and their stories, emotions, and identities. A strong brand is a personality that people relate to and remember. But before I break this down, let's understand what archetype actually means. Archetypes are essentially universal symbols and personas that reflect human experiences and aspirations. They represent very specific qualities, behaviors, and motivations that people naturally understand and resonate with. The word archetype comes from the Greek language. Arche means beginning, typos means imprint. And that's exactly what a strong brand does. It imprints itself in people's minds. And none of this is new because Plato, the philosopher, talked about forms and ideals, and psychologist Carl Jung took it further, linking archetypes to human psychology. Later on, Margaret Mark and Carol S. Pearson expanded archetypes for branding, and that's how the concept of brand archetypes was created, which is now used as a framework to align a brand's personality with a specific, recognizable set of traits. So let's break down these 12 brand archetypes so you can better understand where your personal brand fits in. And if you want to up-level your personal brand, you can check out my free resources in the description below. Let's get this party started with the 3 archetypes who see the world differently and remind us to live with joy, curiosity, and optimism. Their cardinal rule is a spiritual journey. So let's start with the innocent. The innocent is optimistic and pure, believing in a world where everything is good, simple, and aligned. She sees the bright side of life, helping us to declutter, return to what's natural and true, and embraces the beauty of simplicity. So the innocent is pure-hearted, wholesome, and a dreamer. She believes in goodness in a world that is full of possibilities. A very popular innocent archetype is Sabrina Carpenter, known for her bubbly and positive energy. Sabrina Carpenter is the perfect example of the innocent archetype. She promotes self-empowerment and spreads messages of kindness and optimism. With short and sweet, Sabrina Carpenter effortlessly channels the innocent archetype, radiating charm, joy, and a light-hearted sense of humor. Her music and overall vibe is playful yet pure. Like the innocent, she embraces fun, inviting her youthful audience into a world where happiness is effortless. And don't you think that Sabrina channels Sandy Olsen from Greece? Sandy is the wholesome, innocent girl before she gets her rebellious makeover, making Sandy the ultimate innocent brand archetype with her shyness, kindness, and optimism. She starts as a sweet, well-mannered girl, radiating purity before her bold transformation where she embraces confidence and steps into her power while still keeping her warm-hearted nature at the core. The sage archetype is a truth seeker, so she's all about universal truth. She's analytical and deeply focused on knowledge. The sage is also known as the expert, the thinker, and the teacher. Think Yoda or any wise mentor like Mr. Miyagi. Their goal is to seek truth and to share truth, guiding others to victory with clarity and understanding. The sage values knowledge and wisdom, sharing insights that challenge and expand our perspectives. Oprah Winfrey is the epitome of the sage archetype. She has become an icon not just for her talk show, but also for her deep insights into human nature, self-help, and spirituality. Her brand is built around sharing wisdom, knowledge, and empowerment. Oprah was greatly inspired by Maya Angelou, another sage archetype. Maya Angelou was an author, poet, and activist who shared powerful lessons about life, resilience, and human dignity, making her a prime example of the sage archetype. Another great example of the sage is the Oracle character from The Matrix. With her powerful intuition and her wealth of knowledge, the Oracle helps heroes like Neo to unlock their potential and embrace their role in the grand design of reality. She understands the intricate balance between fate and free will, offering cryptic yet profound insights to those seeking their path. With a calm, knowing presence, she doesn't dictate choices but reveals truths that help others shape their own destinies, just like a sage archetype would. The explorer is also known as the wanderer, the seeker, the adventurer, and the nomad, the one who craves discovery. Whether it's new ideas or experiences, the explorer is focused on finding true freedom and fulfillment. So her journey is about self-discovery and pushing past boundaries. The explorer has an independent soul. Her focus is to break free from convention so that she can find new paths, better solutions, and adventures. Now, Kim Kardashian is a lot of things, and so I think she is a great example of the explorer archetype. She's built a brand focus on beauty, fashion, and lifestyle, and continuously explores new parts of herself. With her deep involvement in reality TV, entrepreneurship, criminal justice reform, she has continued to challenge herself and explore what she's capable of for the entire world to sit back and watch. From day one, Kim Kardashian has always been open to explore new opportunities and has never let anyone box her into any old box, which is why it's no surprise she's now built a billion-dollar brand. From her career as a reality TV icon who's even made us laugh on Saturday Night Live, Kim has worked tirelessly for the past few decades, showing us that it's okay to explore new parts of ourselves even when it feels scary. Her pursuit of law to help those in need, along with her willingness to use her platform for social good to push boundaries, embrace freedom as she explores the world around her, makes her a great example of the explorer archetype. Let's not forget the most obvious character who's an explorer archetype, Dora the Explorer. Dora is endlessly curious, adventurous, and fearless, always seeking new discoveries and encouraging others to embrace the thrill of the unknown. And we also have Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, a trailblazer an adventurer valuing freedom and fulfillment who also aligns with the explorer archetype. And if you want to uplevel your personal brand, you can check out the free resources in the description below. These next 3 archetypes challenge the status quo and push boundaries. They inspire action, transformation, and courage. Their cardinal rule is to leave their mark. The rebel is the wild child archetype, also known as the outlaw, the maverick, the rule breaker, and the disruptor. The rebel is bold, revolutionary, and unapologetic. She disrupts the status quo, breaks down what isn't working, and makes room for the way the world should evolve. Their ideas might be unpopular or brash, but we love them for helping us push past limitation. The rebel doesn't ask for permission. She creates change. She tears down what isn't working to make room for what should be working. Famous rebels include bad girl Riri because she's built her entire brand on being bold, with her fearless attitude and commitment to breaking norms, whether in fashion, music, or beauty. Rihanna has shattered expectations. She embraced her good girl gone bad side from very early on and now challenges the beauty industry's lack of inclusivity, where she constantly pushes the envelope with her daring looks and provocative music and music videos. She's unapologetically herself, a true force of change in every sense. And so it was no surprise that Rihanna was greatly inspired by the OG rebel herself, Madonna, who's been challenging societal norms since the 80s. To this day, she's known for her bold, rule-breaking approach to music, fashion, and culture. Another example of the rebel is Demi Moore's character in The Substance, where she's bold, revolutionary, and unapologetic, pushing against norms and redefining power dynamics. And Harley Quinn is the ultimate definition of the rebel archetype. Harley Quinn is a character who defies the rules, rebels against the systems that try to control her, and is constantly striving for freedom, no matter how messy or chaotic the path may be. She challenges authority, embraces mischief, and lives in the moment. The magician is visionary, sometimes the inventor or even a spiritual guide who helps transform both our inner and outer worlds using their magical techniques and strategies. The magician teaches us how we're connected to a universal source, tapping into an inner power that changes everything. The magician is an innovator who turns dreams into reality. The magician understands the power of transformation and uses it to shift perspectives and unlock possibilities. A great example of the magician is 100% Kris Jenner. She literally manifested an entire dynasty out of a leaked sex tape and turned it into a $1 billion empire. If that's not magician energy, I don't know what is. She's literally like the fairy godmother of business, making millionaires and even billionaires out of her daughters while staying in control of it all. Now, talking about the fairy godmother, of course, the fairy godmother herself is the magician archetype, transforming dreams into reality with wisdom, guidance, and a touch of enchantment. She doesn't just grant wishes, she empowers others to step into their destiny. And Elphaba from Wicked is another visionary character who transforms inner and outer worlds using her magic, which aligns perfectly with the magician archetype. The heroine archetype is a true hero and warrior. She is a badass and the motivator who motivates us to do the really hard things. She keeps us disciplined, pushes us to overcome challenges, and inspires us to achieve what we once thought was impossible. The heroine does what others won't do and pushes through challenges no matter what. She is all about resilience and facing her fears head on. The heroine shows us how to do it scared and empowers us to rise above our limitations. She is the example of what limitless possibilities looks like. Simone Biles exemplifies the hero archetype, overcoming obstacles to redefine excellence in gymnastics while openly addressing mental health issues. Greta Thunberg, an environmental activist, also embodies the hero archetype through her courageous fight against climate change. And Naomi Osaka has gone beyond sports as she advocates for mental health and social justice, embracing new paths and breaking barriers as a modern-day hero. Now let's look at some of our favorite heroines from the big screen. Maleficent embodies the hero archetype with both outlaw and magician tendencies. She overcomes betrayal, protects those she loves, and ultimately fights for justice and redemption. And Wonder Woman is the hero of all heroines who embodies bravery, discipline, and determination. She fights to protect the innocent, overcomes challenges, and stands up for what's right. One of my favorite hero archetypes is Trinity from The Matrix, who's strong, skilled, and brave as she fights for freedom and personal growth. Her unwavering commitment alongside Neo makes her an iconic heroine character. Now let's look at the next three archetypes who thrive on relationships, emotions, and human connection because their cardinal rule is to connect with others. Kicking things off with the lover. The lover archetype is passionate and devoted, deeply attuned to pleasure and deep and meaningful relationships. The phrase "follow your heart" was probably inspired from the lover archetype. She brings an appreciation for beauty, aesthetics, and experiences, enhancing life's richness through deep connection and love. The lover is a romantic, sensual, and heart-led. She leads with passion, devotion, and pleasure. Taylor Swift embodies the lover archetype through her emotional vulnerability in her music. Her songs explore themes of love, heartbreak, and connection. Her deep connection with her fans, as well as her willingness to share her own emotional journey, makes her an iconic representation of the lover archetype. And one of my favorite lovers is Ellie in The Notebook, who's passionate, deeply romantic, and led by her heart rather than logic. The Jester is also known as the entertainer or the comic, who's all about fun and light-hearted joy. She reminds us that boredom is the enemy because life is meant to be enjoyed to the fullest. She's all about living in the moment, letting go of overthinking, and embracing laughter. Being the ultimate entertainer, the Jester is free-spirited and always the life of the party. The Jester reminds us to have fun, stay in the moment, and not take life too seriously. Miley Cyrus has embraced the Jester archetype with her rebellious, humorous, and often quirky public persona. Her antiques, playful energy, and willingness to not take herself too seriously has won her a massive following. The iconic Lucille Ball from I Love Lucy is also a great example of the Jester. She is the queen of comedy, known for her slapstick humor and larger-than-life personality. And we also love the bubbly, witty, and full of unexpected humor of Elle Woods, who uses charm and playfulness to challenge stereotypes. And who can forget Sophia Petrello from the Golden Girls, who's the ultimate Jester archetype. She's sharp-tongued, quick-witted, and always ready with a sarcastic remark or hilarious one-liner. Sophia uses humor to lighten tough situations, poke fun at her fellow Golden Girls, and keeps everyone on their toes. Her comedic timing and unapologetic honesty makes her one of the most beloved, funniest characters in television history. And then we have the girl next door, a friendly, humble, and loyal archetype. She prioritizes community over competition. No judgments, always accepting, and focus on bringing people together. She's the heart and soul of genuine connections and creates safe spaces for others to connect. The girl next door is down to earth and very relatable. For decades, J-Lo has been known as Jenny from the block, the girl next door who embraced her authenticity, being one of the originals from the big beauty club. She built her entire brand on being the girl from the Bronx with a relentless work ethic. Even to this day, J-Lo represents this relatable yet aspirational image, even though she's one of the most beautiful and glamorous superstars we've ever known. Her focus on hard work, success, and family resonates with a wide audience, positioning her as the girl next door archetype who always embraces her roots. Another great example of the girl next door archetype is none other than Bridget Jones. Although most days she's a hot mess, we can't help but root for her. She's clumsy, awkward, and constantly navigating the chaos of life, love, and self-improvement, all with a diary in hand. Unlike the attainable, polished, and picture-perfect women in romance films, Bridget is flawed yet lovable, making her one of the most relatable characters in pop culture. And if you're ready to uplevel your personal brand, you can check out the free resources in the description. Last but certainly not least, we have the 3 archetypes who create order, lead with purpose, and set the standard. Their cardinal rule is to provide structure. So let's kick things off with the caregiver. The caregiver is selfless and puts others first. She's also known as the nurturer, the protector, and the supporter. Therefore, she is empathetic, generous, and deeply committed to others. Her focus is on nurturing and cheering others on. Her goal is to create a safe space for her community to thrive because she desires to help people feel valued and empowered. When you work with a caregiver, you feel like your dreams are being held and supported. Selena Gomez represents the caregiver archetype with her genuine care and connection to her fans and her emotional vulnerability in both her music and personal life. She embodies warmth, affection, and the desire to make people feel loved and accepted regardless of their mental health, weight, and looks, which is why she created Rare Beauty and Rare Impact. Angelina Jolie is another great example of the caregiver. Known for her humanitarian work, Angelina embodies the caregiver archetype for her advocacy for global peace and human rights. Another classic caregiver character is the iconic Mary Poppins, who's the ultimate caregiver, a nurturing, wise, and protective mother figure. Her primary purpose is to bring stability, warmth, and instill order and joy in the lives of the bank's children, teaching them life lessons through patience, love, and gentle discipline. Even though Mary Poppins possesses extraordinary magical abilities, she uses these as tools to comfort, educate, and uplift rather than to dazzle. Her magic is secondary to her heart because above all, Mary Poppins is a guardian and a loving presence, making sure that those in her care flourish and thrive. And next we have the royal. The royal is sophisticated, ambitious, and influential. Her goal is to build a thriving community while holding herself to the highest standards. She stands for excellence and sets the example for those who look up to them, inspiring others to strive for greatness. People are in awe of her greatness and her leadership as she builds empires. The royal is the queen bee who sets very high standards and creates a loyal following of like-minded people who aspire to be part of her hive. Although Beyonce could represent quite a few archetypes, she is the definition of the royal archetype. She runs her empire with precision, authority, and power, from her music to her fashion, perfume, and hair care lines. Her performances and music often focus on themes of women empowerment, resilience, and breaking through barriers. Her influence in the music and entertainment industry gives her a commanding presence, making her the ultimate queen. Yes, she's become a true modern-day hero, but ultimately, she has successfully positioned herself as Queen Bee. Serena Williams also has all the boss queen energy as an athlete, businesswoman, and as the greatest of all time of tennis. Serena has built a powerful brand around her authority and leadership in sports while maintaining control over her career and legacy. Anna Wintour is another classic example of the ruler archetype. As the longtime editor-in-chief of Vogue, she's been a key figure in reshaping the fashion industry. Known for her commanding presence, strategic thinking, and influence, she has set trends, discovered talent, and solidified her position as a global authority in fashion, who may have been adapted as Miranda Priestly in The Devil Wears Prada.
Groundbreaking.
Now, there are endless of royal characters in so many of the films we love, from Queen Elsa, Queen Elizabeth, to Cinderella, to the dramatic Queen of Hearts in Alice in Wonderland, Princess Leia from Star Wars, to even Glinda from Wicked. But my all-time favorite would have to be the late Whitney Houston from The Bodyguard, who played Rachel Marin, a royal archetype who embodied many qualities that align with the royal. As a famous pop singer, Rachel was the center of attention, representing the regal nature of a leader who commands respect and admiration from those around her, very similar to Beyoncé today. And finally, we have the creator. The creator is inventive, unique, and vibrant by her own design. Known as the artist, the innovator, or the original, the creator brings ideas to life and inspires us to express ourselves fully and authentically. She empowers us to own our vision and step into our individuality with confidence. The creator lives and breathes originality, showing the world what's possible when we embrace creativity and innovation. Coco Chanel, the founder of the Chanel brand, revolutionized the fashion industry by introducing a timeless, elegant style. Known for her minimalist designs, she broke away from the restrictive, overly ornate styles of the time and introduced classic staples like the little black dress, Chanel No. 5 fragrance, and the iconic quilted flap handbag. She was a true innovator, always pushing creative boundaries and the definition of the creator archetype. Another creator is the most profitable author of all time, J.K. Rowling, who created the Harry Potter series, the prime example of the creator archetype with her creativity in world building, character development, and storytelling. And although most superstars like Beyoncé, Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez, and all the other talented creators, I'd say the ultimate creator would have to be the iconic Hollywood movie star Hedy Lamarr, who was the woman who pioneered the technology that would one day form the basis for Wi-Fi, GPS, and Bluetooth communication systems. Yes, really. So what's your brand archetype? You might resonate with quite a few archetypes, but the key is to lean into one dominant archetype to create a clear and recognizable brand. If you need help figuring out your brand's identity, I'll be breaking down each archetype in greater detail, so make sure to subscribe so that you can follow along. And watch this next video to build your personal brand like a celebrity.